This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
A number of cities held protests this weekend honoring Sona Massie, who was killed by an Illinois sheriff's deputy in her Springfield home. The rallies come days after police released body camera footage of the incident. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. One rally is wrapping up in our area. The NAACP East St. Louis branch held a march today commemorating their 100th anniversary, and with that, they also honored Massie's life. Groups made their way down State Street this afternoon wearing a combination of black and white. This march was originally a silent protest honoring the 1917 race riots in East St. Louis. Today, they also marched in response to Massie's death. We spoke with Reginald Petty at today's rally. The 88-year-old has been a civil rights activist for years, even marching with Dr. Martin Luther King. And he says rallies like this are important for change, but electing local officials is where real change can happen.
We have to get involved. We have to get involved. When I say the local level, we have to get involved in the who's going to be elected mayor or different officials who appoint police.
Petty also says all police need to be trained to respond like social workers, especially when responding to mental health crises. More rallies in Massie's honor are expected in the coming days. New information tonight about a deadly shooting in downtown St. Louis. Today, police identified the victim as 18-year-old Michael Moore Pittman. Around 3:30 a.m. on Saturday, police responded to North 9th Street for reports of a shooting. That's where they found Pittman lying in the street next to a car and a handgun. He was taken to the hospital but was pronounced dead. Homicide Division is handling the investigation. They have not yet identified a suspect or a motive at this time. Well, today marks 100 days until the general election. With President Joe Biden no longer running, polls are only beginning to capture the new state of play in one of the fastest moving and least predictable campaign seasons in recent history. Both former President Donald Trump and presumptive Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris are campaigning this weekend, energizing both of their bases as Election Day gets closer. Before Missourians can vote in the general election, local primary candidates need to be picked for the November ballot. The Missouri primary election is a week from Tuesday. One of the biggest races to watch is the primary for Republican governor. Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, Senator Bill Eigel, and Lieutenant Governor Mike Keogh are the top candidates campaigning for the job. And last night, former President Trump weighed in on that race. Trump says he endorses all three. Two of those candidates joined 5 on Your Side for a debate last week. Ashcroft and Eigel shared their vision for Missouri in the hour-long statewide debate.
I'm the only candidate in this race that's made a commitment that we are going to arrest and deport every single one of the 77,000 illegal immigrants that are in the state of Missouri right now. I'm the only candidate ready to stand with Donald J. Trump to make sure that becomes a reality.
As your Secretary of State, I'm leading the nation in protecting investors. I'm now being sued across the nation. I'm being sued by firms because they want to use your money for woke social agendas that don't get you the rate of return that you should. I'm running for governor because Missourians deserve more.
Both men also took aim at Keogh, who skipped out on the only televised debate in this race. You can catch the full debate on KSTK.com or on the 5+ app. Well, we have some extreme heat heading our way this week. Meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now and has more on the weather impact alert days ahead for our area. Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. As we continue to focus on the heat Monday through Thursday, we got some rain. It's at least keeping us cooler, and it's running you inside for a little bit. I do want to focus on that here first and foremost, because when you look at the distance over City Park, we can hardly see the buildings downtown. And this is the blinding rain that's coming down in some cases. It's working its way into the Metro East, and that's where I'll take you right now. As you can see, it has just crossed the river, and that's why as we zoom into some of this just a little bit, some of the rainfall rates are pretty impressive. We only have about 12 lightning strikes in this queued up area, but this area right here, you know, we're talking about some spots that have almost 3 inches of rain per hour. Now, it's not going to sit there per hour, but that's right about here. That's that area that we just saw on that camera. So this is anywhere from Illinois 3 all the way up and down, working away on 64, 55. I mean, some significant rain that continues into Pontoon Beach. So as we look at some of these areas with brief, very heavy downpours from Troy, Highland, Old Ripley, Hamel, these are areas that go inside here for the next half an hour or so. Those are the areas that we're going to look at. This is the excessive heat. We have an excessive heat warning for the greater St. Louis area. Outside of it, heat advisory starts tomorrow afternoon. It goes all the way through Thursday. So as far as what's going on right now, you can see that rain in a more of a different fashion and into this evening as our weather impact alert. Brief heavy downpours, but we're going to concern ourselves with temperatures tomorrow. Struggling to get below 80 tonight, and that's a scene setter for us the next few days. How hot it gets, how long we hold on to this heat, and what it feels like when we have the humidity.
Tonight, an Illinois horse stable is in recovery. Less than 2 weeks ago, strong storms hit our area, leaving this stable with damage that will cost thousands to repair. As repairs continue, the owner is pleading for the community's help. Our Mercedes McKay has more from Millstop.
She's the big girl in charge here. Big girl in charge, aren't you?
Rochelle Weaver's devotion in life is to take care of others.
Yes, you are. You got the apple going.
Working full-time as a nurse while running a horse stable for senior and injured horses.
People needed a place to take their horse that they love, their beloved companion, and actually find a place for it to retire.
That's where Spotted Pony Stable Retirement Center comes in. The sanctuary opening just 3 years ago in Millstop.
I am full because it's a need here in the greater St. Louis area.
But now Weaver is the one in need.
The damage was unbelievable.
The July 16 floods completely washed away both of her bridges.
Now the bridge looks sound. Unfortunately, all the stone and gravel have washed away, which was holding up the slabs of concrete.
Meaning Weaver didn't have access to the farm.
So there was no way to get to the horses. It was a good 20 feet drop, and there was no way of getting there.
Well, a temporary fix is in place. She says the long-term solution could cost up to $10,000.
My contractor really wants me to concrete this so it never happens again. That's a price tag I can't handle right now with the opening of my place.
And this right here is Willow, one of the 8 horses here at Spotted Pony Retirement Center. And as you can see, she is loving life out here, which is why it's so vital to get the community support.
Senior horses are loved, and they really should be allowed to have dignity and be a horse for a while, and then just live life to its fullest.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
And right now there's a GoFundMe page set up to help Spotted Pony Stables. We have a link to donate on our website, ksdk.com, under the As Seen on TV section.